Eve, and welcome to Sibyl Tarot. This is a reading for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising during the month of April. Cancer, I'm just going to pull a couple of art cards here and see what lies ahead during this month. The first card out we have here is the Moon. Lovely, Cancer. As the Moon rules your sign, your unconscious, sensitive inner emotions and responses. So beautiful Cancerian energy during the month of April for you. This feel, this being the planet cards, this is kind of maybe what's being asked of you is to kind of stand in your own power, so to speak. Stand in that beautiful moon yin energy. The next card we have here is the 7th house. This area of your life is about long-term significant partners, romantic, business or family partners. So maybe it's to do with, connections of a sort, Cancer, for you during the month of April. We'll just pull one more card to see what the energies around you is. Could be an emotional time for you, concerned, possibly to do with a relationship, not necessarily your partner. That it could be a family member, or maybe something to do, with business or that, or friendship even. And the next card out we have here is Pisces. The energy is wistful, endlessly loving, compassionate and forgiving. It confuses and softens resolve. Pisces energy. We have Mercury in Pisces at the moment, but it'll be only for the first week in April. And Pisces would be another fellow water sign like yourself, Cancer, and with Mercury being in that, it could be a little bit, dreamy type way of thinking or communicating, and maybe this is what it's asking for you to do during the month of April. Is maybe to be somewhat, maybe just kind of soften your energy around you or that, because we are in the Aries time, and Aries is the warrior, is ruled by Mars or that, and it could be as well because Mars is in Gemini. It's talking about your, your 12th house or that, which is Piscean energy. Actually, your 12th house is Piscean energy, but it's quite watery energy, so to speak, emotional. Could be an emotional time for you, Cancer. The moon represents Pisces and Cancer, those two particular signs, Cancer is all about the home, it's all about family, it's all about motherhood or that. But the first card out we have here is the Knight of Swords, and the Knight of Swords is air energy, and the Knight of Swords for me is Gemini energy. So, and Gemini at the moment, as I said, has Mars is in Gemini at the moment throughout the month of April, it's action orientated and that, but the Knight of Swords here can talk about a little bit of, recklessness of that, maybe as to the way that you communicate. So maybe it's just asking during this month is to kind of soften communication, especially to do with relationships here. We also have here is the 7 of Cups. The 7 of Cups is water energy. It's Venus and Scorpio, I think, actually. But, the 7 of Cups can talk about choices that you might be in the dark about. It could be choices to do with love, in the love area, but it could be choices even with your partner or that, there may be a bit of and especially with Mercury, in Pisces, there may be a little bit of an illusionment here, as to a choice that has to be made or that, or choices that you have here. It's also, like kind of to take your head out from the clouds, that way, and kind of ground yourself. Yeah, because look what we have here is the Queen of Pentacles here that popped out there, and this is what's crowning your spread. It's kind of like asking you to not to be carried away with emotions or feelings, of illusion and that with the moon, because the moon can show a lot of illusions, or bring up a lot of illusions, stuff that might not be actual tangible, um, for you, so it's kind of saying, during this month uh, A- of April. I keep saying Aries because of April, but during this month, it's to kind of be a lot more grounded, to do with your relationships or that, especially I feel it's to do with around the family, uh, Cancerian, because Cancerians are all, they're family orientated or that, um, it's about nurturing energy as well with the moon card here. So we have here is the Tower, and the Tower is ruled by, Scorpio, and this could be as well, and as I say, I did say this with the Gemini, because of Mars being in Gemini. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and it's the planet of information and communication. But with Mars being in there, you could be, inclined to lose the head, all of a sudden, Um, so it's asking you not to, especially here with the Knight of Swords, you might say something that later on you might regret or that you can't take back, um, Cancer. So just to be where you get that, or even, it might not be yourself, it could be somebody else, you might get into an argument with that, or someone just might lose their head around you. And I feel that if it's as to why, is because within the communication there's, a lack of clarity, because the moon here and the Seven of Cups talks about, um illusionment, so what we have, what's behind you here is the Ten of Wands. So you're coming out some type of burdensome cycle or that, it could be even to do with work, with the Ten of Wands here, something that might have been weighing you down in the past or that, and maybe this is already, has already kind of happened. It's coming in the month, that you've kind of had a falling out with somebody or that, or cross words were said, but as to why, it's because the communication is not quite clear, and maybe you might be feeling that, a lot of responsibilities or that have been placed upon you or have done in the recent past, but coming into this month, it's kind of asking you, to let down these, let down these wands, let down these responsibilities that you're putting onto yourself more so, I feel, and maybe it is because with your seventh house, letting your partner, whether that be, um, your husband or wife or whatever, like, or that, or whether it's, partnership, maybe just even within the family, you know what I mean, taking on taking too much on, or even with, with work. This is saying it's coming to an end, and though, these burdens or responsibilities. And it could be as well that that's what needed to be aired, during this time. But I feel like if this is the case, it has already happened. There has been some type of, um, argument, disruption. And maybe now, crosswords have been said, but now it's kind of for your Cancer to soften the, I want to say, the atmosphere within the home, or, within the situation. So what we have here now is coming towards you is the Queen of Swords, yeah. So because I feel someone is probably, has lost a head or that, but I feel that somebody, there has been a sharp-tongued person around, or there will be, somebody coming towards you that's quite sharp-tongued, and, you might be feeling quite sensitive about it, or you might kind of snap back as well, you know, but you're kind of just protecting yourself, you know. You may be feeling that you're a little bit um overburdened with, you know, certain things or that's going on within your life or that, and you might have this kind of tendency to be snapping at people, you know, during the month of April because of all this Mars energy, as I said. So it's kind of asking you to soften yourself. That's what I just want to say. You know, don't be so severe that in your language, the way you're coming across, or that, you know, um, let it, you know, as well as that, let the other person talk. You know, give them, you know, let them have a voice or that. But we have here, and this position is the World card. And funny enough, Gemini got this in the same position here. You know, it can talk about closing out a certain chapter in your life or that. But I think it's what it's asking you to be is to be a little bit more vulnerable, to kind of open up towards whoever it is or the situation or that, kind of to show your vulnerability. Don't be too much like the Queen of Swords, being cold and that, you know, even though, because whatever it is with the Queen of Pentacles here, it's something that you hold quite dear to you, you know what I mean? It's something that you know, that you love, you know, that way it could even feel, not, I'm not saying that it is your child or that, your children or that, but you know, you could nearly treat them, you know, maybe that's what it is. You could be treating your partner like, you know, as a child, talking to them as a child, maybe scolding them as a child, you know, and that they feel a little bit brash and they feel like, you know, that you're treating them like a teenager or that, you know, and you know, or you could be getting this, you know, being felt like this, you know, toward, you know, the other person could be making you feel like this, you know. I feel that if it's not, you know, rectified during this month, that it's going to be a repetitive pattern that's going on throughout, you know, like the situation will keep coming up, you know, or the argument, or um, you know, the person that, you know, lessons, you know, are not being learned, do you know, that way. So um, you kind of need to take heed of it this time round. And just to be, there's a warning here, you know, of to, you know, if you drive or that, you know, just slow down, because especially if you are feeling anyway angry or volatile or that, you know, because you know, you could, you know, cause an accident. And we have here is the Knight of Wands. I'll just show you the Knight of Wands here. So, because I think whatever, you know, the the person or the situation around you, it's kind of asking you to be, you know, to lighten up, you know, to have a little bit of fun. With the Knight of Wands here, you know, there could be even, you know, somebody, if you're single or that, you know, Cancer, somebody coming in that's, you know, a chatty, witty young person, or they give that energy off, you know, um, that they're, you know, all about, you know, to have fun or that, you know, and maybe as well, um, with the Queen of Swords here, you could be, you know, going forward, if you are single, that you might feel that this person is a player or that, you know, and you're cutting them before they even kind of say their piece, you know, or before they even get to the first base with you, so to speak, you know what I mean? Um, could be closing this type of energy that's coming towards you off straight away, you know, and if that's the case, it's, you know, it's asking you to kind of, you know, lighten up in some way. Then the next card out we have here is the Seven of Pentacles. It's in the Hopes and the Fears position, but it did actually come out in reverse. It threw itself out in reverse here. So I think it's asking you actually to take a chance with the two sevens here, and the Seven of Pentacles is like that, an energy that you're holding on to, that you're building, you're saving or whatever. But I feel that if it's for some Cancerians that might be meeting somebody, that's coming towards them, um, to just to let go and kind of, chill out and enjoy the ride, so to speak, with the Knight of Wands here. I'm not saying that this person is a player or that, you know what I mean, but just to, lighten up and have some fun. Because probably, and it could be just even talking about, this lockdown or that, because we have the Ten of Wands here, it's in the past, but we also have the Nine of Wands as the outcome. But it could be just talking about, the last several months or whatever, like, just being a bit burdensome with the whole lot altogether, like, but with the Nine of Wands here, you may have been hurt in the past for one reason or another, if it's to do, whether it's even to do with love or any type of situation or that, you're feeling like, as the wounded soldier. And you may feel, excuse me, you may feel that you're the one that has to push on through all the time, especially if you're in a partnership or that, or it's always left down to you, or maybe if you are single or that, you just feel that all the burdens are left down to you and you're just exhausted from it, you're just exhausted from it. But it's saying, to turn your back on, the worries, even if it's just for a night or that, and to kind of let your hair down and enjoy yourself, just during this month, during this month of April, kind of leave your worries behind you for the time being, and just, um enjoy the present, enjoy the moment, like, yeah, because I feel that if it's kind of nearly what you're creating at the moment, if you're constantly worrying, you know oh, this might happen, or, or I have this to worry about, I have that to worry about, or whatever, um you're not going to kind of see the blessings that are coming towards you, you know what I mean? You're not going to be open up to it either. um And I think if nothing else, it's kind of, especially with the moon, because the moon is, to rejuvenate you, um, like, at night time when, when you sit down to rest, or you go to bed, or that, the moon is there you know, um, to rejuvenate you, or that, and this is probably why this moon card is here, and the seventh house, especially if it's to do with relationships, even friendships, that is still a relationship, or that, like, to take time out for, the people around you, and to not lock yourself away, especially with this Piscean energy and Mars in Gemini. That is your 12th house, and that's Piscean, and that might be feeling that you kind of want to you know exclude yourself, you want to kind of be alone, or that, but it's it's asking you not to, you know what I mean? It's asking you to kind of fight through that, you know. Um Even if, you may be in a home, with a lot of people, involve yourself, and um I feel that, then this burdensome, this heaviness that's kind of, heaviness around you, will dissolve, during the month of Aries or April. I keep saying Aries again. Okay, right. I do hope you like the reading. If you do, Gemini, please, or Cancer, sorry, Cancer. See, yeah, it is to do with your 12th house. So if you do like the reading, please like, share, and subscribe. Cheers, Slan.